And welcome back to the GFB channel. Today I'm just gonna do a really quick, well, not really quick, I hope it's gonna be quick, but just a deck builder kind of thing. Yeah, it's a Blackluster Soldier deck that I've built. It's not finished yet, but it's almost completed, so I might as well just do it and I'll just tell you what else is needed for it. So yeah, let's get cracking. So first I'll begin with all the Blackluster cards. So for the beginning, what we have is one Blackluster, well, okay, those two cards meant to represent him because I'm gonna get, basically I'm waiting for those two to come in the mail. So I'm gonna have 3 copies of him in the deck. A really good card, Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier. Basically the effect reads: you can ritual summon this card with Super Soldier Ritual. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card is in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Gaia the Fierce Knight monster from your hand, deck, graveyard, or graveyard. You can only special summon Blackluster Soldier, Super Soldier once per turn. Really good card. Again, it brings out some more monsters. Good with combos. It's just a really nice card in general. So I'm definitely getting 2 more of those for the deck. This can go down there. Now we've got only one Blackluster Soldier. It's there because if you like, it's also good for tributes to be honest. But the Blackluster, the Super Soldier Ritual summons any ritual monster that's a Blackluster Soldier, so it works with it as well. And then we have 1 times Lord of the Red. The only reason why we have Lord of the Red in this deck is because he's just good and he's a nice powerhouse card when you summon it. Its effect is whoa, is it just me or did my lighting just change? Basically its effect is you can ritual summon this card with Red Eye's Transmigration once per turn during either player's turn. When a card effect is activated, except Lord of the Reds, you can target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. Also, once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, except Lord of the Red, you can target 1 spell and trap card on the field and destroy it. And it's 2,400 and 2,100 defense card, so it's just really good in general. Yeah. Next, what we have is 3 times focus. Cool. 3 times Super Soldier Soul. Really good card for the Super Soldier deck. The effect is you can send 1 Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand to the graveyard until your opponent's next end phase. This card attack becomes 3,000 and this card's name becomes Blackluster Soldier. You can banish this card from your graveyard at 1 beginning night or evening Twilight night from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Super Soldier Soul once per turn. Again, if you're low on monsters, you can always, if you're low on low level monsters, you can always just discard 1 of your higher level Blackluster cards. This card gains 3,000, boom, you've got a card on the field that can destroy pretty much any normal monsters. It's really good in the first turn as well. If you pull 1 of these in the first turn and you summon it and you've got a discard card because you don't have any ritual spell cards, then it's perfect. Yeah, and I'm going with 3 because it's just a really good grade 3 monster in general. Next we've got these, the Gaia cards. So basically we've got 2 times Arisen Gaia the Fierce Knight and 1 times Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight. So basically the only reason why I went for 2 of these is because I didn't pull enough of those. But hopefully after I get the booster box I'll have 2 more, so I'll probably just update the video later. But yeah, this card pretty much does the same thing other than it can be summoned as a without no tribute and it doesn't lose attack because that's its effect, and this one pretty much does the opposite. So it's a for example, Charging Gaia is good if you have him in the first turn. because you can tribute summon him normally and he has 1900 attack. And yeah, it's just really good. Also, it has a really good effect that if you tribute this card, you can add one Blockluster Soldier monster from your deck to your hand. So, what else do you want in the Blockluster Soldier deck? Just add more of them in it. Next up, we have this one, and if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can normal summon this card without tributing. If this card is tributed, you can special summon one Blockluster Soldier monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use the effect of Arisen Gaia, the Fierce Knight, once per turn. With a ritual summon of a Blockluster Soldier monster you control, you can... sorry, I went a little bit too quick there. When you ritual summon a Blockluster Soldier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. So yeah, again, this card is really cool for a Blockluster Soldier deck. And my dog is attacking me from the back. Stop it! He actually jumped up on my chair behind me. That's ridiculous. Just sit down. Sit. Good dog. Okay, cool. Next up, we have 3 times Evening Twilight Nights. Now, those cards are amazing for the normal Blockluster Soldier card, as well as, to be honest, as well as the Blockluster Soldier, Super Soldier as well, because it just gains additional effects on top. So what this one does is, a Blockluster Soldier monster ritual summon using this card gains those effects. You can only use the effects of Evening Twilight once per turn, so him. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls and banish it. Or once per turn, you can banish one random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's next end phase. So quite an OP card. Hence why I have 3 of those, so that when I get 2 more of those, and I'll probably just throw in 1 more Blockluster in, yeah, they'll just have mad effects that will banish cards and destroy them. Next, we have 1 copy of Beginning Night. It's very similar to Evening Night if it focuses. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Cool. So there's the Beginning Night, and his effect is that the only thing that's different between him and the other one, to be honest, is his second effect is when you when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. This attack can make a second attack in a row. So it's basically like as if you used a Blockluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning instead of the Twilight one. So that's pretty much all. So I only have 1 of him. Next, for monsters, we have 2 of the biggest boys in the house. We've got Blockluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. Since he's limited, of course, I'm only having 1 of him in the deck, because I want to make this a tournament deck. Of course, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster from your graveyard. And then once per turn you can activate 1 of these effects, which are, if you already don't know, target 1 monster on the field, banish that target face up. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect, which is kind of fair because that's OP in its own. And then if this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, it can make a second attack in a row. So what else do you want? Second card, a Blockluster Soldier, Sacred Soldier. Yeah, it was between him and the Twilight one, but I prefer him because he's easier to summon than the other one. And its effect is quite good as well, because as his effect, when he's summoned, he banishes 1 dark and 1 light. But when he's summoned, when this card is normal or special summoned, you can target 1 of your banished light or dark monsters and 1 card your opponent controls. Return the banished card to the graveyard, and if you do, banish that card your opponent controls. Now that's OP. Like, I don't know. Like, you get to bring 1 card back to the graveyard, so you may reuse it for something else that needs light and dark monsters, and you get to banish a card from your opponent's field. So that's really good. And then the next effect is when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 level 7 or lower warrior type monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So you pretty much can bring back anything you want that has a Blockluster in its name. So that's quite useful as well. So those 2 cards are definitely good for the deck. Okay, now for normal monsters, like just monsters in the deck that I use, these ones are only used for defense and for summoning in the case of Sphere Kuriboh. So I got 2 times Sphere Kuriboh in a deck because you can stop an attack, and when he's in a graveyard, you can stop an attack and opponent's monster goes to defense mode when you send him to the graveyard. Also, when he's in a graveyard and you're ritual summoning, you can banish him and you add a level on top to your ritual summoning, so that's really good. So that's why he's there for defense. Same with 1 times Marshmallon, because Marshmallon is a really good defensive card. When it's face down the field and your opponent attacks, then they take 1000 damage, and after that it cannot be destroyed by battle, so it just stays there until it's destroyed by card effect, pretty much. And last but not least, we've got Electromagnetic Turtle. Yeah, 1800 defense, and when it's in the graveyard you can banish it, and then it's the end of the battle phase, so another really good defensive card. So that's all the monsters that are in this deck. So as I'll just say again, I'm waiting for these two to arrive, so there will be 3 super soldiers in the deck, definitely. So yeah, that's all for the monsters. Let's move over to the spell cards. Okay, spell card wise, we've got 1 Red Ice Transmigration. Really good card. Like, I mean, it's a ritual card, how can it be good? What am I even talking about? Yeah, you used to summon thingy, what's his face? Lord of the Red, pretty much Joey trying to be like the Kaido Man. Yeah, so we've got a Red Ice Transmission, Blackluster Ritual, 2 times Super Soldier Ritual, because it can summon any Blackluster Ritual monster, so it can summon the normal one and this one, so that's quite good. And then there's Gateway of Chaos. Now Gateway of Chaos is a crucial card in this deck because it's a really good search card. When this card is activated, add 1 Blackluster Soldier Ritual monster or 1 Gaia the Fierce Knight monster from your deck to your hand, really good. And then each time a monster card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, place 1 spell counter on this card for each of those cards. Maximum 6, of course. I don't think there is any card that goes above 6, counter-wise. Once per turn, you can remove 3 spell counters from this card. Add 1 ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Gateway of Chaos per turn. So pretty much what you're saying is I can search my deck and ritual summon a monster like pretty much the minute I get this card out of the field, which is OP. Also for this one, I'm planning to get another copy of it soon, because it's good to have to in case it gets destroyed. Then some more deck searching cards. We've got 1 Reinforcements of the Army, really good card. Add 1 level 4 lower warrior type monster from your deck to your hand, so you can pretty much search for your grade 4 or even like Super Soldier Field, Super Soldier Soul, or if you need to defend you can always search for Evening Twilight Night or Beginning Night, because they have 2000 defense, so it's really good. What's next? We have Terraforming to search for your field spell, really good. Quick way, if you get it first, quick way to get your Gateway of Chaos and getting started with your rituals. After that, we've got Foolish Burial. Send monsters to graveyard to give counters to the Gateway of Chaos. That's really good as well. And Swords of Revealing Light to store for time if you're low on cards in your hand, or if you have like a ritual card but you're just short for the actual monster. So really good card to stall time. And last but not least, the trap cards. So trap card wise, the trap cards that I use specifically for the Super Soldier and all the Blackluster cards in this deck are 3 Super Soldier Rebirths. Really good trap card. The effect is the There we go. Target one blockluster soldier monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do special summon one blockluster monster from your hand with a different name from that monster, ignoring its summoning conditions during your main phase except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one blockluster soldier monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only activate one super soldier rebirth per turn. So basically what I'm thinking is, okay, so if I summon this piece of crap blockluster soldier who has no effect or anything unless I use the thing, and it gets destroyed, I can activate this, and if I have, for example, Sacred Soldier or just a Blockluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning, I can summon them in this place. So I don't have to banish anything, but I still get a good monster back. And that's why we've got 3 of those. Last but not least, we've got 1x Super Soldier Shield. Now this card is quite good for the deck. Let me just get a focus on it. There we go. Super Soldier Shield. Now effect wise, when a spell, trap card or monster effect is activated that targets one monster on the field, well, you control a Blockluster Soldier monster, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can remove one spell counter from your side of the field, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Really good, so technically you can defend twice with it. And last but not least, a few cards just to boost your defense, just in case. We've got 2x Trap Holes. You know, everyone knows what Trap Hole does. When a monster's summoned, it gets destroyed, boom. 2x Mirror Force, since they're not banned. Really good if your opponent has a lot of monsters and you don't have many. Activate one, destroy all attack position monsters. Urgent Ritual Art, if you're about to get destroyed and you have this card set and you have a good ritual monster like Super Soldier, then you can activate this card, then banish one ritual spell card from your hand or your graveyard, and this card becomes it. So it's pretty much like you can ritual summon in your opponent's battle phase, for example. So this card is really good as well. And last but not least, Exchange of the Spirits. Now you don't have to put this card in. I only put this card in because I just like the card. It's like one of my favorite cards in all of Duel Monsters, and I was like, yeah, why not put it in? So yeah, so that's the whole deck builder for Blockluster Soldiers. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will leave the full deck list in the description below with all the additional cards that I didn't have in this video. So